If you're in the market for a rooftop tent, guys, well, this video is for you. We got 3 tents that you may not have seen too much about.
Yeah, so this is a long-term review. We've had these for well over 6 months now. So let's go over everything from the good, the bad, and everything in between.
Nice.
So this is a rooftop tent comparison or review. Now, with the amount of tents on the market, we can't possibly review every single tent. There's not enough time. However, we've got 3 of the latest offerings from James Baroud, iKamper, and ARB.
Well, should we show them how to set them up?
I reckon.
Let's do it. All right, James Baroud Odyssey rooftop tent. It's the new one from James Baroud. We're just going to whip around and set it up. Yeah.
Get into it.
First things first, it's got 4 clips. Undo the first, the back 2 first. I open the back of mine, step on the tail on the rear bar and push the top up. What's the weight of this one, Marco?
So I reckon it's 68 kilos.
So it's pretty light.
Very light.
After that backs up, pop the 2 clips at the front, which are pretty well undone. It's probably more relevant when you're packing it up, but you sort of just need to push it backwards and then up, and that's the basics. 4 arms in the tent, you basically push them out and you hear that click. You're pulling that lever or that button towards it, so you're sort of squashing it like that. So you pretty well do that with all 4. Put your pillows are up here, blankets up here, yeah, which is great. You don't need to keep anything in your vehicle, so pretty self-explanatory with everything else. Awesome ventilation in this one. Literally like 360 degrees of ventilation, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's the basic setup. That's as simple as it is. All right, Marco, second tent, the ARB Altitude. This is a tough one to set up.
Very tough, actually. Starts with a key, so this one's a bit unusual.
Oh, motorised.
Yep. A couple of locks. But this actually has a hatch on the top of the tent here. And this is where the ladder's stored. So let's pull this ladder out and keep coming. Gotcha. All right, bring him around the side here. We do have some extensions. Like that. And handrails. And the other unique feature is power. So Anderson plugs straight in the back there. And we unlocked both sides. Hit the button and wait. That is set up. So all the bedding's in there, pillows, enough for 2 people in there. It's really, really easy. Now, first of all, we are going to need a key, and we're going to unlock both of those latches, then we're going to push her straight up. Like that. There we go. Very similar ladder to a lot of rooftop tents. It's a good ladder. And then we should be able to bring that down like that. So just inside the doorway on this one, there is actually a zippered pocket with 6 poles. So this is the rain flyer that you can see here, so that just folds up with it. Can be removed completely if you want. But the mattress is stored up here, but it's an inflatable mattress. So being a clamshell design and quite a big mattress, this one you do have to roll up or set up. Can also store your bedding up here, or at least a sleeping bag. It might be a bit tight with pillows, but let's roll this out. You've got plenty of openings here, so it also comes with a pump. So Nick's just plugged that into a vehicle 12 volt supply. Let's pump it up. We have done a full unboxing on this one. So we've gone through all the specs, everything that comes with it, features and stuff like that. So there's a bit more info in there, so if you are intrigued in on this particular tent, definitely check that out. I reckon this is about 64 kilos from memory.
And obviously the main difference between this and, like, we'll get into the comparison in a minute.
Yep.
But the main difference is this one isn't using your whole rack. So
yeah, that's right.
So
Bit of a different style,
definitely,
but still similar price range.
it's in that top tier level of rooftop tent.
Yep.
Well,
and also not something you see very often as well.
No, all three of these are like that.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's put them head to head.
Yep. Let's have a look at everything.
Pros and cons of all three together against each other.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Boys, all right. Well, we've been using these tents for, I think, long enough to gauge a bit of an opinion on them.
I think we're qualified enough to do a review.
Yeah, stuff it. Let's get into it. I think the most important thing here is probably the price, to just cover off what these cost, around about what they cost.
Keeping in mind that if you're watching this in a year and a half time because you're interested in one of these tents,
yep,
or rooftop tents in general, it will change. But
yep. So we're not going to give to the dollar cost on any of these tents. Just Google them, for God's sakes.
What are we talking, 5 to 7?
Yeah, I think this is probably the 5 to 7 range, all three items here.
We're talking 1,000, not 100 too. You're in for a rude shock if you think hundreds.
Yep.
They're top tier tents.
Yep.
Like they're the top of the game.
Yep.
Not saying there's not others that are top of the game as well, but these are three that, hence why some people are going to say why is the iKamper in this? Because it's a different style to the other two. That's because of the price bracket, and
it's not seen as often.
Yeah,
the iKamper.
Exactly.
We thought, you know.
Exactly right.
So that's, yeah, if you need the price, Google it because they vary.
This is not, you can get size, weight, price, all of that from a website. I think when I'm looking for a rooftop tent review, or before I want to purchase something, I want real world experience. So we don't need to rattle off the catalogue for anyone.
It's readily available to everyone.
Yeah, so this would be useless if it was just a catalogue, a verbal catalogue. So I think as far as size and weight goes, obviously the iKamper of these three at mid 60 kilos and obviously smaller footprint.
Still leave space on the rack.
It's also, if you've got a tub rack like the dual cab industry is huge.
Yep.
The biggest industry at the moment in Australia. That tent sits on a tub rack. The other two will not. Like they'll need to be above the roof.
Yep.
If weight's a concern, you go on iKamper.
Yep.
Right. Why not the ARB one?
So yeah, the ARB one weighs over 100 kilos.
Yeah.
Like a lot of good tents do weigh around that 100 kilos. We've had another tent that was near on 100. A lot of the aluminium ones
the aluminium construction
are around the 100. Like whether it's 90 or 100, that's still in that same kind of category. So ARB is a heavy tent.
A big thing, and especially like we've been shuffling these three tents around these three vehicles, and we've all been using them to sort of get a good gauge on them. These two tents, the ARB and the James Baroud, like they take a lot of room. They take most of your rack up. The Patrol's rack is completely gone. Like effectively, I don't need a rack. I'd mount it on bars because my rack's completely gone. Massive consideration for us because we keep a lot of stuff, shovels, recovery boxes, max tracks, like all these things, bolt-on items to your rack. They're all gone. I've had to pull them all off to get that on there.
So the size then is frustrating as far as James Baroud goes.
For me, it is.
Yeah.
It depends on who. Like you got to think about what you're doing.
Yeah, if you need roof space, if you want to keep your maxis on your roof, you've got nowhere else to put them, then you're going to have to take that in consideration. And these longer tents aren't going to work.
Yeah. But for a couple that's traveling Australia, like they don't have a recovery box as big as we do. Like they might have a snatch strap or something in the back of their car.
A couple of maxis somewhere else. Like
it's really vehicle spot, your situation specific. But in my case personally, the size of the iKamper that still gives you some rack room is really good.
Yeah, but obviously that changes per vehicle and per roof rack as well.
Yeah, how you mount it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the ARB is, like you said, that Defender's roof rack is probably one of the widest because it's so square.
And longest.
Yeah. And the ARB still is well over the sides of it.
2 people in there comfortably, obviously.
Yep.
Would you sacrifice a bit of width in there if you were to create the Ultimate?
Well, the problem with the ARB is because of how it works, and it's the push button setup, the no tucking required or anything like that, means they have to allow for a larger space.
So the mattress is smaller, not the same size as the whole shell.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're losing out a little bit there.
Yeah. So ARB is about 600 wide, 1600 wide, but that doesn't mean the mattress is an extra 200.
Yeah. There's a fair bit of cavity and whatever, either way. The Baroud's weight we haven't touched on yet.
No.
I mean, as far as specs. So that's the middle of these 3 tents. That's the mid-range, which as far as rooftop tents, I think it's a weight that I'd be pretty happy with if I was to purchase out of my own money.
Yeah, so just under 70 kgs.
I think that's pretty damn good.
So it didn't make too much difference to the vehicle when it's on top?
No, not like as far as
not to bother you.
No, not really. Especially like we've just done a relatively, sand duney, whoopee corrugations. That's a pretty good test for a rooftop tent as far as like you've got a bit of body roll.
Absolutely.
You've got vibrations and whatever. So the more I would ideally have no weight on my roof. But if you want a tent up there, you've got to have something. And 60 odd kilos is pretty well your baseline.
Yeah.
So that's really, I think the Baroud ticks a big box there as far as weight goes.
Yep. Another thing, obviously, in size is also height. They're all probably pretty similar height-wise. I think the ARB is the tallest.
What's that, 3?
I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty certain it is the tallest of these 3. But it's not by much. So build quality of these 3.
Yep.
Build quality. Have you noticed any issues with build quality? Can you tell?
No. I think the build quality is fantastic.
Same.
So these all seem pretty good.
Yeah,
hold
really
up all right.
These tents are all fiberglass construction. You would have seen, and we've had tents, like used tents that are aluminium shell construction. In my opinion, I would prefer an aluminium cased, but out of just for strength, but then you sacrifice some weight as well.
Across all tents, there's no latch that we've randomly noticed that thought this one's terrible. Like it's all been.
They've actually been getting better. When I first started using the latch on this one, I thought, they feel a little bit flimsy, but now you've used it for 6 months on and off.
Yeah.
I've got trust in them 100%.
Do you think that comes down to as well, like the way they pack up is a well thought out system, so you're not there leaning on it, trying to squash the last bit in and latching the latch on and putting it under extreme tension. Like they all sort of come down, it flops down, and then
it's all
like it's a well thought out system.
I think the canvas on the James Baroud feels like the highest quality. It's really thick, feels heaps strong. The fly mesh as well is easily the strongest. It's probably a slightly larger, I'm not sure if it's midgie proof or not, but it's a larger mesh, which means more airflow. But zips and everything on the James Baroud, I reckon probably pip the other 2 on quality feel.
I think that James Baroud, they could knock a couple kilos off if they
used a different canvas.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It's a very good quality canvas.
Yep.
Obviously, they chose it for a reason because it's going to withstand the test of time. But
But other things on the James Baroud where build quality seems like it's not quite as important is maybe the fan feels a little bit like it's after, like they obviously buy that in from someone else and fit it like you would. But that probably lessens the feel a little bit.
I tend to agree.
And like the added lighting in there, it's like a torch essentially.
It's an afterthought. Like it's an afterthought. Well, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
It's like we could put something else on the.
We need lighting. Let's put a detachable.
It is actually James Baroud branded.
Yeah, but the build quality doesn't extend from every single piece of it. Like there's just a few little things like that.
Accessory more so.
Yeah. Obviously it's not critical as far as operation and the important things.
Yeah.
The ARB build quality again is really good as well.
Which you'd expect for tents in this price point.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean,
you're not going to sell a tent if build quality's absolutely.
rubbish.
Like, we are up there in the price point, so
Yep.
we should be expecting decent quality, and they all sort of deliver on that.
Yeah, but again, I think the attention to detail and the quality of the roof console, the switches, the fans in the ARB,
Oh,
Yeah,
like that,
it's well thought out.
yeah.
that quality is across the board.
It's like a car interior.
Yeah, yeah. So I think as far as longevity of the quality of the fabrics and canvas and stuff, I think James Baroud's probably pips them just,
Yeah.
then followed by the ARB, and then probably the iKamper. But again, like you said, that all of that would affect weight as well. There's a lot of canvas and stuff up there.
That's why the iKamper can be a fair bit lighter. It's more of your poly cotton canvas.
Yeah.
What do you got next for us, Marco?
All right, so next up is usability, how easy they are to use, and like accessories.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking setup, pack up,
Yep.
Just
comfort, sleeping in it,
Well, I mean,
living
people-
with it.
intern like lighting and stuff like that.
Yep.
People are going to see in the videos how they pack up and set up, but maybe what's your favourite thing about the way it packs up and sets up? James Baroud first.
It is very easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't require any tucking or very, very little. You just got to like flap it in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's packed down. You pretty much get out, undo the latches, up she goes.
Yeah.
Setup is ridiculously
Yeah.
quick.
What about the iKamper? Different style.
It's a little bit more vulnerable in
Yeah.
terrible weather.
For the style of tent that it is, the way it folds out and sets up is good.
Yeah.
But you are more vulnerable than being a shell.
Yeah.
Because you now have made a smaller tent.
ARB, obviously, usability, it's easy, you push a button.
Yeah.
So usability there's great. You really can't get much better than that.
At first, the iKamper to me was an absolute deal breaker. No. After 6 months of use or watching other people use it and getting the hang of the setup and pack up, it's 100% not a deal breaker anymore.
When it wheeled round to my turn, I wasn't that stoked. But yeah, after
comes
using
out now.
after using it, I was like, pretty good.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
It's like anything. You use it more, you get the hang of the little knacks of opening it and closing it, and it's
So you can get accessories for all of these, particularly, so James Baroud, you can put roof racks on it. So that I guess is an advantage if you've got a surfboard or a solar panel or whatever, you can put some weight up there. Same with the ARB.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the iKamper. The iKamper's smaller, so you've probably got more rack space, so that's probably a bit of a trade-off. You don't necessarily need to put racks on it because you've probably got some rack space.
if you solar panel in front of it. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other accessories.
Awnings.
Yeah, so James Baroud's probably a bit unique. It does have their tunnel awning, which is a 270 awning with a hole in it, so you could get, in and out of your tent in bad weather.
Yep.
There's
So,
a
well, the
iKamper
iKamper.
do the same.
iKamper as well.
Yep.
There's a big zip-on awning to zips to the fly, so that's cool as well. You can, it's not just about buying the tent. You can kind of
Add to it.
accessorize it and
Enhance it.
Yep, exactly.
They all come standard with lighting though, don't they? All three?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not an accessory, all three lighting
Yep.
from the get-go.
That's the beauty of the deluxe for the iKamper. So the deluxe has the extras like the lighting. So
Righto, okay.
To some usability, ARB as far as setup pack up, it's push a button, so it's the easiest. So
Incredible.
that kind of wins that
Yeah.
usability factor.
Absolutely.
But the difference by the time you pull the ladder out, hook up power, and push the button and are ready to get in,
You're
you could
getting
still
so fussy.
you could still
You've just been pushing a button and you're still whinging about the time to set it up.
No, but I'm saying it's not that big of a deal as far as time, because you could get set up and be in the James Baroud in the same amount of time. But if you're not quite as able, then
Climb
the
around
AR
your car.
Yeah, like climbing all over your car.
Yeah, like Nick getting around his car.
Yeah, but
Unable.
Physically, what?
I've aged horribly.
Like
can tell.
if you've got a disability or if you're elderly or
Yeah.
something like that, then
Yeah.
there's
There's a couple things on the ARB that leads me to believe that is a bit of a target audience for them.
could be. Yeah.
But yeah,
be. So yeah, the next one is comfort and convenience.
Comfort and convenience.
so little creature comforts inside the tent.
So we're not talking in the setup stage here.
No,
They're already
using
set
it,
up. This is
yeah.
now they're set up. It's not taken into consideration. So I think massive thing comfort-wise, the iKamper's mattress
Yeah,
has to be
absolutely.
spoken about.
Yeah.
That's the bit.
It's
It's the
very
best,
good.
The
Yeah.
best tent mattress I think on the market.
Yeah.
Not that I've slept on all of them, but like a lot of the same.
Best I've used.
Yeah.
Combination of foam and air and a
Yeah.
good time.
Yep.
Yeah,
10
it's-
centimetre thick.
You
Like,
can also, it's effectively adjustable, so you can,
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
don't need as much support or you don't want it as firm, you don't have to put as much air in it.
or if you're a bigger unit, you put more air in it and you're not going to hit the bottom.
Unit.
There wasn't enough air for Nick.
Yeah, there may not be enough air in
Too many
the
chops last night.
atmosphere for Nick.
Um,
But iKamper for comfort,
yeah.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders above the rest.
easily.
Yeah.
Easily the most
And
comfortable.
Not just these three, like these two. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
No, very, very good.
Yep.
Mind you, like the others aren't bad.
Not at all. But it's just a real, like,
It's a standout for
I don't
the
know.
eyes.
I mean, for $7,000, you know, or that for the price point of these tents, I would almost say the other two are borderline average.
Yeah, I'm a heavy sleeper. Like I sleep well.
Yeah, you sleep.
yeah, I don't think the other two are bad. I just think it's a point to work, set out for the iCamper that's one thing
Yeah.
it does excel in.
Yeah, absolutely it does. But in the pack up and setup,
Yeah.
like it takes more to set it up.
It loses
So there
out.
is a sacrifice
Yeah.
for everything here.
So it's not quite as convenient.
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like this is massive. There's pros and cons, and you've got to weigh up for the best setup for you. Like,
Yep.
At this point, we're talking once we're set up.
Yeah.
It's a pro for
Yeah,
it. But
comfort
everything
and
else, yeah.
convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else comes into comfort and
Well,
convenience?
leaving
Pockets
your-
inside?
Well, leaving your bedding in the tent.
Absolutely.
Like, that's
Yep.
convenient, right?
Yep.
Because you're not going to drag it out of your car. It's taking up storage in your car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pop the tent like the ARB or the Baroud. It's up, and it's bad weather. Straight in. Like
Yep.
you've got your pillows, you got your blankets. They fit in there. Not a drama. You're not trying to squash them in there. The iKamper does fit.
We did get a double sleeping bag in there,
Yeah.
draped over the mattress, rolled up.
Yep.
And then I do think you could still get a pillow. Like
Yeah.
my pillow is paper thin,
Yeah.
personally. No need for me to brag. But maybe two of those, you'd be all right. But if you like 2 pillows per person,
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're going to come down and be put in the car.
Yep.
But your sleeping bag or sheets and probably a lightish weight
Yep.
quilt,
Yep.
I think you'd be able to get that in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's knowing the like after you bought the product,
Yeah.
like you experiment with these things. Like we didn't to start with. Like, oh, you can't fit anything in there.
Yeah.
You know, now it's 6 months later, we've worked out that, oh, hang on, you can get more in there if it's positioned right. And if
Yeah.
you know that, you're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, other things in comfort and convenience is the other two have a fan. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I'm a big one for like little, like for instance, inside the ARB, like the roof console, we're calling it. I love the convenience of like Bing lights on. It's just,
Well, you've already connected power in your setup phase, so you're good to go there.
yeah, like I like it, but it's 100% not necessary. But it is quite convenient.
Yep.
So the ARB's console, love it.
Yep.
As you'd expect for the price value. We've already touched on the Barouds, probably a little bit under par, I think, with as far as their lighting and stuff goes.
Yep.
Pockets though,
Compared to the others, yeah.
Baroud's got a couple pockets, you know,
Yep.
your phone, your car keys, etc.,
Yep.
like whatever,
Yep.
are always good.
It's all pretty
basic.
standard across the 3, the pockets.
Yep. I reckon the ARB's better as far as pocket-wise goes.
There
Like
is a-
drink bottle holder, I think is cool.
There is a roof net in the Baroud,
Yep.
which is really good.
Also, the like airflow and that kind of thing is part of comfort as well.
Baroud is stunning.
Yeah, so the Baroud is probably the best.
For airflow.
The ARB is not far behind, really.
Yeah, there's only like 2 sections like this today.
Exactly. And the ARB's fan can be push or pull,
Yep.
which I guess that's a good option to have as well. So those two are on par.
Yeah.
Not quite as much airflow in the iKamper, given you've got a hard shell that folds out
Yep.
one side, and then you've got either side and the foot end or the ladder end.
Not only is it ventilation, but like we travel around because we like to like look at the countryside. So you're parking in these nice spots and on a beach or whatever. You want to wake up, or if you
Yeah.
want to lay in bed in the morning,
Yep.
laying in this thing and
Yeah.
having 360-degree views while you're laying on your pillow is
Yeah.
like mint.
Yeah, you're up
Yep.
nice and high on top of the
Yeah.
car. You're getting a
So it's not
good
just a
view.
comfort thing as far as ventilation, but it's also like experience-wise.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. One last thing with like the LED lighting. So the iKamper, you do just need a power pack to run the LED lighting. There's at the ladder or external or underneath the little platform is a
Yep.
dual color LED
Yep.
light strip light, and inside is the dual colour strip light, and they're dimmable as well, aren't they?
Yep, yep. They are.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
Again, the James Baroud doesn't have that.
No.
The ARB has that.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yep. It's got on the 2 rails outside where you hook your ladder.
Yep. And
which
internal.
is good. Like if you can. Well, which one is the most comfortable?
Mattress, sleeping.
iKamper.
Sleeping wise, iKamper.
Yeah.
Yep,
We've all
definitely.
agreed on
Agreed.
But most convenient.
ARB.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other
That
two.
push button.
Yeah. Either. Well, I guess the ARB. Yeah.
Yeah.
ARB for me.
Yep. All right. Next topic we have is installation. So how easy are they to buy and install, basically?
This is very your own setup dependent, but
Yep.
we're all putting them on top of a rack,
Yep.
and probably the iKamper could drop straight on.
Yeah. No problems putting the iCamper straight out of the
Very
box.
That's
easy.
the first
That's
tent
good.
I've put on with them, like a
Good clamping system.
mechanism.
Yep.
Solid.
Yeah.
Super simple. Anyone can do it.
On and off easy if you're not going to leave it on your daily driver and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good system.
Yeah.
You do have to take into consideration if you've got things mounted underneath your rack though, like we've had to alter a few things on yours.
Take the
table
table off.
slides, etc. Like
Yeah.
we've had to, it's been a bit of a gripe with pretty much any rooftop tent is the rails are so close to the middle, and I understand it's all to do with load and where your body weight is and whatever,
Yep.
but if you can push the rails out further, it would be more usable for most rack systems. But that's a gripe on them in general.
Yep. The Brood was okay. However, with our particular slat size, we couldn't use the standard out of the box mounting system. We
Just needed a
we had to retrofit something. You can buy, like your roof rack manufacturer has rooftop tent mounting kits if they're a good manufacturer. So in our case, Front Runner obviously have a heap of different mounting kits for rooftop tents.
Yep.
So that's an easy option. But straight out of the box, it didn't work for us.
Yeah, and it could be a relatively easy fix for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But to their credit, they've got dual rails under there, so you can either mount it narrow or wide, which helped massively with the undermount,
love that.
under rack table.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I think that was great as well.
Yeah.
Probably adds a bit of weight when you're talking kilograms, but
Yeah.
What about the ARB?
ARB was
pretty-
actually surprisingly easy as well. Didn't expect it. We really thought it might be very ARB specific, but no, it actually fitted on really well. So
If you had to buy one of these tents and that was your form of camp, you were doing a lap with your misso, which one of these 3 would it be? That's the question. That's what we need to know here.
Angus, what one are you buying? You've got to buy one of them, mate. You've got to leave here today with one.
And keeping in mind that this is for our scenario.
This is on the 80 series for how you travel in the 80 series.
On the 80.
Yeah.
All right. Can Nick go first?
I'd go the James Baroud.
The Jimmy
Why?
B.
Why?
It's good on it's the right weight. It's on the lower end of the weight for rooftop tents in general. The convenience of it, as far as it's a pop-up get in.
But earlier you had a big gripe with taking everything off your roof, and yet you still wouldn't go the one that would allow you to keep
keep
something.
in mind, I don't want a tent. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not in the market for a rooftop tent.
All right.
No, but it's not the question. We're getting one.
You're saying why have I not picked the iCamper?
Yeah.
So the reason for the iCamper, I think, and I know it's been over the last 6 months, it's been getting
Progressively.
more and more in favour of the.
Yep.
We've had this conversation quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. Is like, that first thing looking at the iCamper, I'm like, not a chance I'll ever buy that. But then after 6 months of watching it using it and watching it being set up, I'm like, every time I'm like, the iCamper is more and more appealing. But I just still think if I'm traveling, setting up a tent day or every 2 days, I just don't know if I can pump my mattress up.
Okay, so I think that simple answer is the style of travelling you do is more run and gun, stop, start, go. You know, one-nighters predominantly, not go to a location, stay there for a week.
Well, this is why I'm not in the market for a rooftop tent, because I think for my setup, for my reasons, there's a better option.
Yeah, so for your style, it's the benefits are the quickness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm spending this much money, I'm getting the ARB.
Wow.
There, I said it.
Wow.
I want to push a button. For that amount of money,
pretty appealing, isn't it?
push a button, it sits up higher, you can sit in it, like probably play cards, do a few things like that.
Didn't expect you to say that. This is like, not a word of a lie, this has not been rehearsed at all. So
No.
this is legitimate like reaction.
Yeah, for setup, get
Ritzy
in. I mean,
boy.
it's just the mattress of the iKamper is so good that I would probably steal that and try and get it in there. Nah, but I'm going the ARB.
Yep.
It will destroy any like
Wow.
setup of my rack and other things I require, but my God, getting out and pushing that button.
Yep.
But especially like if it's bad weather and you've hooked it up to power permanently,
Yeah.
like if it was on your roof, like we've just got a cord because they've been swapped around. You could literally just put your arm out, like you unclip it, quickly unclip it, put your arm out to go, get back in the car.
Yeah.
It's doing its thing.
Righto, Mark. Tell us what you think. Being a Jimmy B lover at heart.
Yeah, I mean, I did buy James Baroud years ago and had it for probably 4 or 5 years, and that was great. I did like it. I don't know. For me, the ARB's out of the question.
Well, it's a bit too heavy for your workhorse.
It's too heavy, and it's too bulky. It's too wide. It's too tall, for my liking. I do really like the James Baroud. I actually think it looks good too. That's obviously looks is got to be changed person by person. iKamper looks very good as well. Actually, being black, you can't go wrong.
iKamper looks the best in my opinion.
I think James Baroud just, and I'd never thought I'd say this, but like you, the iKamper grew on me.
Oh, I still love the iKamper.
Quite a bit. I think the James Baroud for me just over the iKamper, but only just. Probably splitting hairs, to be honest. Like I do like the if you run and gun kind of camping at one-nighters, not having to inflate the mattress and put all your bedding in it.
That's where the iKamper loses out big time. In that run and gun style.
If you're
Whereas if you're slow and easy and there's no hurry, then that's where the iKamper for me is probably going to be the best.
Like for instance, like we all still have jobs. We're not doing that 12-month lap where time's not so critical. Like if we're doing a trip,
pretty rushed.
In annual leave, we need to push up to wherever we're going. If we're going to Cape York, we're driving there, and then we're taking a log off and doing it. But we're still, 2-night camps, 3-night max.
Yeah.
Which I could 100% deal with setting up the iKamper for more than, or even nightly. But I wouldn't want to be doing it every day for a week.
Yeah. Yep.
Sort of thing. That's my justification on, I think, just if I was doing a lap and you've got 3 nights minimum wherever you go, the setup's not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I used the iKamper every day for a week and had once did I stay at the same place twice.
Yeah.
And we weren't travelling far, so it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
So it wasn't massive distances to travel. It was enjoying the trip. So that's what I grew to love it a bit more. So.
And you get savvy with setting things up.
Yeah, exactly.
After that week, I bet the difference between times set up from the first day to the 7th day would have been huge.
Yep.
So.
All right. I think that covers everything.
Yeah, we basically got no answer out of anyone. We like them all.
Yeah.
For their different things.
Yeah, we like them all, but we also don't like them all.
Well, it's pros and cons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like everything.
So that may or may not have helped you to decide in whether you're looking to purchase one of these. I'm not sure if we've said it already, but we chose these 3 tents because they're a bit peculiar, because they're not flooded on the internet as well with reviews.
Influencers.
We're looking to, that's right, we're just looking to promote them. We have to pretty well return these tents. These are demo tents. We have had them longer than expected because we wanted to
give them a fair old hiding,
get the most out of them and actually use them. So
big thanks to the companies.
Exactly right.
Massive thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and it's also not every brand will actually offer tents to go head to head against another tent. So credit on them for backing their own product.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's massive.
Yeah.
And it shows they actually truly believe that their tents have got a place.
They want to put it out there.
Just this was meant to be informative and educational, not not sponsored in any way. So
Sponsored by Flyers, that's for sure.
Yeah, they got a good bloody deal out of
So
it.
just be aware of that when you are watching reviews and you do see products flooded on the market, and quite often they are a cheaper tent. I truly believe in a rooftop tent you do get what you pay for. I think that covers everything.
Pretty well done.
Yep.
Let's
So,
put some wood on the fire.
Put some wood on. Exactly
Get into
right.
it.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys.